Thanks for watching part 2 of our Heat Networks Regulation Preparing for Registration video series. I'm Dominic and I'm a Senior Policy Lead for Heat Networks at Ofgem. In our previous video, we covered what registration is, why you need to register, and who needs to register. This also included what authorized persons should be aware of, compliance with regulation, and regulated activities. In this video, we'll go through the registration process step by step, and we'll also cover support and next steps. Registration is made up of 4 main stages. First, you create an organization account. Second, you provide organization details. Third, you submit a declaration relating to significant managerial responsibility and influence, known as SMRI. And finally, you register your heat networks. This part of the process is led by the operator providing information first, then, if the supplier is a separate entity, inviting any suppliers to complete their sections. In the next slides, we will look at each of these steps in detail. Where a landlord is the operator but has outsourced property management, the landlord remains the authorized person. The property management company may be added as a user and complete the registration steps on the landlord's behalf, but legal responsibility continues to sit with the operator. The first step is to create an organization account on the Ofgem Heat Network digital service. The regulatory contact will do this using a gov.uk one login. If you already have one, you can use it and do not need to create a new gov.uk one login. If you are signing up for the first time, you must use your individual work email address. Once the account is created, the regulatory contact can add additional users, including third parties, and assign different permission levels as required. Users can be given permissions to view information, add or edit heat network information, submit information to Ofgem, and add or edit other users' permissions. After creating an account, you will be asked to provide organization level details. This includes describing your organization, ownership and structure, and whether you are subject to social housing regulation. You will also be asked to provide financial resilience indicators, such as income and profit or loss information, and to confirm whether the continuity plan is in place. A continuity plan sets out how data and assets would be transferred to another party if an authorized person exits a heat network, for example, due to insolvency. Where a heat network is owned or operated through a special purpose vehicle, this information should relate to the SPV as the authorized person. When we refer to providing organization details, this means the authorized person for that role. This will usually be the operator or supplier registering the network or a managing agent acting on their behalf, unless the managing agent is itself the authorized person. The next step is submitting an SMRI declaration. This declaration relates to the authorization condition A08, the ongoing fit and proper requirement, which requires that persons in positions of significant managerial responsibility or influence for a heat network are fit and proper. The person has SMRI if they make key organizational decisions or manage activities affecting all or a substantial part of the organization. We will not ask you to provide a list of individuals with SMRI, but to complete the declaration, you need to understand who these people are in your organization. You'll be asked whether people with SMRI in your organization are fit and proper, whether you have a process in place to ensure that they are, and whether you carry out regular assessments to ensure persons with SMRI remain fit and proper. An SMRI declaration must be completed before you can continue with heat network registration. Once steps 1 to 3 have been completed, the regulatory contact or other users on the account with appropriate permissions can add heat networks. Registration is operator-led, which means the operator provides information first, and the steps covered by this slide and the next slide. They can then invite the supplier, if this is a separate party, to complete their section. In the introduction of adding a heat network, the operator confirms their role. They will provide details about the type of network, energy center, and number of buildings on the network. If any buildings on the network are identified as communal networks and you're responsible for these, you'll be advised to follow up by registering those. At this point in the process, we will also identify if the heat network is a shared ground loop heat network. The functionality in the service for shared ground loop heat networks has not gone live yet. So if you have any of these networks that fall into this category, you will not be able to add these yet. You will be able to complete the earlier steps and add other heat network types. The operator will then provide some technical information about the heat network, and this is at a fairly high level. As mentioned, if another party fulfills the role of supplier, you can then invite them to complete their section. They must already have set up an account on the service. After the operator steps 4.1 to 4.4, invited suppliers can register their supply activity. They will be asked about what type of customers they supply, use of prepayment metering, and metering and billing agents. They will also be asked information about compliance with consumer protection measures and baseline data. Some of those consumer protection requirements will relate to billing practices and the information you provide on those bills. Finally, you will need to confirm that the information provided is correct and hit submit. This will generate an email confirmation that the heat network has been registered. As noted, any communal networks that are located as part of a district network will need to be registered separately. We don't have bulk upload functionality for those who have multiple heat networks to register. Some of the data required at registration is required at the organizational level and will only need to be inputted once. Some of the data that is required at a network level, and this will need to be provided for each network operated and supplied by an organization. Registration is a one-off activity, and bulk upload is a functionality we are aiming to provide for future activities. This includes regular data monitoring, which will be an ongoing requirement. We want to ensure that the registration journey is as smooth as possible. A big part of that is making sure people can get the right help at the right time. Help and guidance are built directly into the digital service itself. So as people move through the service, they'll see clear prompts and explanations along the way, rather than having to work things out on their own. That same guidance will be available on our web pages so people can familiarize themselves with what's needed before they start. That's helpful. The service has been designed in line with gov.uk service standards. That means it's been informed by user research, tested by real users, and built to be accessible and as easy as possible to use. The aim is that it feels clear and straightforward, even if this is the first time someone is engaging with the digital service like this. In terms of getting in touch, email will be the main contact route. We'll be clear about how to do that with clear signposting throughout the service, and people can expect clear and helpful responses. Overall, the focus from an operations point of view is on making the process supportive, accessible, and proportionate, helping people through the journey without making it more complicated than it needs to be. We hope that this video series has made you feel more confident when it comes to preparing to register your heat network. To stay informed about our activity in the heat network space, please sign up to our mailing list if you haven't already. The form can be found in the video description. We also plan to develop more videos in support of your understanding of the regulatory requirements and activities. So please subscribe to our channel. Please also feel free to leave a comment below on what else you would like to see to support with heat networks regulation. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.